Hey there. I want to talk about a deal that I just had, just to demonstrate why, if you're a buyer and the property you want to buy does not appraise, why it's not the end of the world or the end of your transaction. Obviously, it could be, but it's possible that it isn't. So, I recently represented some buyers who fell in love with this beautiful property. It was a formal model, and they wanted to make an offer. And I can't remember how long it had been on the market, but couple 3 weeks, which is kind of a long time in this present market in 2018. Anyway, so I sat down to do the comps, and I really couldn't find any for a property that size, with that type of upgrades in that location. I really couldn't quite figure out where the listing agent was coming from, or the seller for that matter. So I asked the listing agent kind of, where she was coming from so that I could understand and, relay good information to the buyers so they could make a good buying decision. In the end, I just didn't feel good about the numbers that I was seeing by, a couple tens of $1,000s in sales price. So after conferring with the buyers, we had a couple counters with sellers, and we settled on a particular sales price. I don't recall what it is at this point, what that price was. And I warned the buyers, and I was also very transparent with the listing agent. Like, I don't feel good about this value. I'm nervous about the appraisal. Anything you can share with me is helpful, so that we can give that to the appraiser. Anyway, so come appraisal time, I remind the buyers, I'm nervous about this. And sure enough, it didn't appraise by $55,000, which is a ton. I mean, that's more than, 55 grand. That's a ton of money. So we went back to the sellers, and I reminded the listing agents, like, we kind of knew this going into this deal, that this was going to be a problem. So in the end of it, the sellers agreed to come down to the appraised value, which was fantastic for the buyers. Buyers had to give up a couple things, like a home warranty. I mean, it was really nominal in respect to having to come up with cash to satisfy a difference between the original sales price and the new sales price, which is the appraised value. So the moral of the story is that just because it doesn't appraise doesn't mean that you can't work something out with the seller to get the house that you want at a price that a mortgage lender is going to lend on, right? If you don't have the cash, or you don't want to spend the cash. And there may be times where you've got a few $1,000s left to set aside, and you are willing to bring some cash to the table to make up a variance between list price or sales price and appraised value. So don't give up. In real estate, unless something burns to the ground, most problems are solvable if you look for solutions, and that's what I do. I found a solution, and I got my buyers a great deal, and they're super happy, and they love the house, and they're just building equity every single day. So if you have any questions about the appraisal process from either side, you know where to reach me, 480-387-4722.